Welcome back. We're back in the forest for testing the off-road dongle from LSK Motorcycle Electronics. As promised, after the installation, after I've ride for a couple of times, I'm here now in the forest to fully explain you what this dongle, what this off-road dongle from LSK Electronics it's providing as an improvement, as an add-on for the ones which are riding more off-road and they need to switch pretty fast to the off-road mode from the street modes back to the off-road modes. To get to the off-road mode on the Honda Transalp, it's kind of time consuming. We need to go to the user mode, long press the mode button, and then turn off the traction control and turn off the ABS. And this is a little bit of time consuming, especially when you stop pretty often to make a picture, you stop to relax, you move forward, you start the bike again, and you have to do this again and again and again. There is no way you save the mode. In order to have a pretty fast switch between the modes, LSK Electronics provided this off-road dongle. Pretty easy to install, clean, everything it's clean on the handlebar. Nothing is no extra buttons, nothing, just a cable which we insert in this area, and this is pretty much everything. You saw the installation. I have a link in the description with all the installation steps. You can watch it one more time. So let's start. Let's see what this dongle, how this dongle actually works, what benefits is providing, if there are some cons to consider before purchasing this dongle. Let's proceed. All right, we have the dongle installed. The first thing after we start the bike, it's pretty easy, no matter in which riding mode we are. Now we are, for example, in gravel, but we can switch to user mode, sport mode, standard mode, rain mode. But I would like to test first the gravel mode. In this mode, we just press the down arrow for a couple of seconds, and this is it. We have deactivated the traction control, we have deactivated the rear ABS, and we are now in the off-road mode. Gravel settings, off-road mode with traction control and ABS turned off. It's pretty simple. We start the bike. If we stop the bike, our setting will remain. Isn't it beautiful? We start the bike, we are already in the off-road mode. We start the bike and you can see that this mode stays. Start a little bit of riding and we will see what are the benefits this mode, this dongle off-road mode is bringing. Alright, we're in a gravel mode, but what's really beautiful about this mode is that, for example, maybe you want a different power map. For example, maybe you would like to ride off-road with the sport mode settings, which mean power to the maximum, engine brake 2 out of 4, and so on. The traction control and ABS, they are anyway disabled. This you can see here by the blinking. The blinking refers only to the traction control and to the ABS. So we have blinking. The dashboard is blinking with the mode, with the traction control and ABS, just to let us know that we are in the off-road mode and these settings are disabled. This is a safety feature, a visual warning for you as a rider, and a safety feature which I think is necessary. Some of you said, man, I don't like this blinking, I don't like, you know, I think it's necessary to have this this blinking just as a warning. So now we are in the sport mode with the sport settings, which means we don't necessarily need to go back to the user mode and try to recustomize the power map. You know, so it's we can go to the user mode, we can preset the user mode totally differently than the sport mode or gravel mode or the rain mode, and we can use the user mode as another setting for our dongle, and it's pretty helpful. Depending on which surface you are riding, perhaps you need a different power map. So it's nice to have this option of changing the power settings and the map settings, the engine map settings. Now we have it's after the snow. Imagine 2 weeks ago, here it was snow. 2.5, 3 weeks ago we had snow over here, but now check it out, it's the surface is soft and with a little bit of mud here and there. While we are riding, we can change, for example, to a different power map, to the rain mode, for example. Let's switch it to the rain mode. We don't want so much power, for example. Maybe we're riding slow and we would like to have a different power map. Oh, now we are in the rain mode, an easier mode for less power. We don't need so much power right now. Okay, now while we're riding, we're switching back to a different power map very easily. Traction control and ABS, they are staying off. We are out. And now we would like to go to the sport mode, and yes, we can do this. Yes, we can do this. Man, the suspension, it's just amazing on this type of surface. Nice. What do we have here? Some surprise after the rain. Nice day, perfect moment, perfect timing at the mid of March to ride a little bit, to regain the powers, to regain the strength of you know, after the winter, after a long winter. Now wow, it's pretty much amazing. This perfect spot, perfect playground to get back in shape a little bit. There is one more thing I would like to share. Let me get on the bike. It's a pity to waste the time not riding. Alright, so when you want to get back to the usual settings while you are riding, because this mode, from the on-road to the off-road dongle to the off-road mode, you need to stop the bike, but partially you can do this. You can get into the off-road mode pressing this arrow while riding. You get the traction control off right away, and when you stop the bike, everything turns off, even the ABS. We start, okay, we start, and now let's say we want to get back to our street mode, you know. We press long, and this is it, guys. This is it. Everything goes back to its normal. The traction control is the last one which is blinking, but the rest of the ABS and the other ones, the other lights are turning off. So now you can see nothing is blinking. We are in the street mode, and What I was telling you before is the following. We are riding, right? And we want to get to the off-road mode. We press long. We long press. The sport mode is blinking. The sport mode is blinking. Traction control, now it's off when we have a very low speed. And when we stop, ABS it's off and we continue to ride. Isn't it great? So we don't need to completely we need to completely stop the bike, but we just need to slow down for a bit. You know, we have the traction control off first, and then comes the ABS after that. And we are in the off-road mode. Oh, check out there, some deep mud over there. Pretty easy to use, guys. Pretty easy to use. Very useful. Whoa! Check it out, man. Wow. Wow. This playground is only for us, can you believe it? And let's say we don't want to be too aggressive. We go back to the rain mode with the dongle activated. Isn't it nice? And we have you know, it's the acceleration, it's a little bit nimble. It's more nimble, and you can enjoy this place at a different pace, or not. I heard some of you saying that you had some issues with this dongle. So as you can see, nothing here, no issue whatsoever. 1 month of exploitment, everything is working perfectly. And you wondering why it's blinking? Why it's blinking? Because you need to have a safety feature like this one. Just to have in mind that you are actually with the traction control and the ABS, the rear ABS are off. And when you're going back on the streets, just to have in mind, oh man, I need to put back the settings, or I need to take care about this, and I will try to get back to the streets mode. This is very useful as a safety feature. I can recommend you when you're going, when you're riding off-road, it's better to not have the petrol tank, the fuel tank always full. Now I put, I think about, I put about 5 liters, so to speak, and it's perfectly, the bike is a little bit lighter, and you can play with it, especially with this suspension provided by Sesta Marcia. I have a link in the description, or some other videos which I explain what mods, how I modify my suspension in order to have this, comfort, this stability at 82 kilometers per hour. Okay, regarding the dongle, you are the one who will decide if you need this dongle. I strongly need it because I would like to choose my riding mode, choose my riding settings as fast as possible in order to have the maximum, you know, the maximum flexibility with the bike. Without this dongle, you can lose precious minutes, precious seconds, precious minutes Maybe you would like to stop for a couple of times off-road, and you're gonna stop off-road. You're gonna stop to make some pictures. You will stop the bike to rest because you cannot ride continuously, and you will stop eventually. We need to get rid of the dogs as always here. As I said, you can waste precious time. It's not about always the time, but you would like to get into the mode, man, as fast as possible. This is the reality. And unfortunately, Honda hasn't provided this possibility. There is the same issue, or the same thing happens on the Africa Twin. Hopefully we will get the dongle for the Africa Twin as well. Let's see here if we have luck. Oh, thanks to the tires. Off-road dongle by LSK Electronics. Let's start with the positives. Installation pretty easy, pretty simple, straightforward. The instructions provided by LSK Electronics, they were pretty clear. Nothing to complain here about. We have a video, complete tutorial with the installation. Delivery was very fast, no doubt about it. You don't have any extra buttons here that will interfere with what you have installed on the handlebar. Simple to use. Now we are back to normal by a press of a button. You see, by a press of a button we can activate, deactivate this mode. It cannot get simple than that. I mean, what do you expect? You know, it's simple to use, no errors. At least in my case, I don't have any error. Nothing was interfering, you know. And let's be honest, this blinking, it's for your own safety. It's not here to, you know, as an error or as something which you know, to bother you so much. So don't worry about this. Another positive is that you can change the modes while you're still deactivating the ABS and traction control. You can use the same modes. I will stay for the sport mode just to have a little bit more fun. As a downside, I'm trying to search this negatives, but until now I couldn't find it. The guys from LSK Electronics, they are very transparent and they show you what could happen. You can get technical support anytime by email, at least if you have any issues. I place a link in the description with a dongle. If you have the Africa Twin, you might consider, and you're riding off-road, of course, so you might consider having one of these dongles. It's up to you. It's up to your preferences. It's up to your riding surface. It's up to you if you buy or not this dongle. But it's my duty to present you as transparent as possible this device, and I will continue to use it, of course, because it's a pleasure to go to the off-road mode. Entering in the off-road mode opens another world. So my slogan will be, or my motto will be, get into the off-road mode by a press of a button. Get into the off-road, or feel the nature by a press of a button. LSK Electronics. But the reality is like this, you know. By a press of a button, you can enjoy. Now we have to get rid of the dogs one more time.